Stockdale was man of the match, and there was the lovely moment as he's back pedaling after he scored his try and just almost taking a moment to half look up to the sky, and he says something to himself, I'm not sure what, but something along the lines of, I can't believe this is actually happening, but it is. So he got man of the match. Rob Kearney's a really strong contender for man of the match. He's had a great November.
That's great.
It's
great to see Kearney back.
But I mean, every text we ever get in about the full back position is, when is Rob? We're like, Kearney's finished. Can we get on with this?
I think it's been very harsh on Rob because, like, he's proved he's a class player. The problem he's had is his injury profile has been horrendous. The guy has a nightmare injuries. He's never got a run of when he's full of his health. And we know if he gets that run, his game comes back. And even now, he's just his really second game under his belt in a while, and he's back in the straps again. So as long as he stays healthy, I think he's going to even get better. Hopefully he'll get through Europe now after Christmas and into the Six Nations. I'm delighted for him because I think a lot of the criticism has been misinformed, because I think he's, through no fault of his own, he's been injured so much.
He's a big game player, he is. And do you know what, there's a real security when you see someone like him that has that wealth of experience, that many caps, 70 plus caps, has played in lots of big games, lots of momentous games Ireland, for Lions Test for Ireland, for Leinster in European Cup games.
Absolutely.
So he has been there and has done it. And you know, as the last line of defence, which is what you build your team on, is like the guy at the back, he's got to save us when we break down up front. He's an extremely good defender. We saw it at the weekend. Yeah. A couple of big collisions when it looked as though for all money that they were getting in. Yeah,
he made 90 metres, 13 carries, 2 line breaks, 5 defenders beaten, and as you said, that general security for the team. So
pretty decent at the office for a fullback.
It's not bad. So you said he's certainly in the conversation for man of the match. Funny, we talked very briefly, Brian, before coming on air, and you threw 2 names at me as well, in O'Mahony and Bundee Aki, as 2 other big contenders for man of the match.
I thought they were both class. The amount of work Peter O'Mahony got through. It's funny, he's almost assumed the role of what Jamie Heaslip used to do. Just, he made other players around him look good, did an awful lot of tidying up, made an absolute nuisance of himself, stole ball, tackled extremely well and aggressively. I just thought he was so incredibly busy for his 75 minutes that he played. Probably, if there was an unsung hero man of the match, he probably would have gone that. And then I think Bundee Aki's defence was absolutely brilliant. He carried really hard, in tight spaces, got Ireland over the advantage line. That power play that we talked about, Murray kicking to the corner, he got an extra 3 or 4 yards when he wasn't entitled to it. But I just thought the quality of his defence, of his tackling and his impacts, he made some huge impacts, but also his ability to read off and scramble incredibly well. I tell you what, we are in for a treat when himself, Henshaw and Gary Ringrose and Jared Payne are all fit. I really don't know what combination we put together.
He looks so focused. I mean, whether it's been a conversation or a realisation, he's actually focusing on the key things he needs to do, to be in the team. Whereas with Connacht, I think he feels he has to push it out a bit, to do more, to try and make things happen more. Here he just got into his role and did it exceptionally well. And I mean, when he carried, he was 4 or 5 metres over the gain line every time. Yeah. So like all that stuff, just doing the really simple things really well, and not trying to push his game out too much. I think that was crucial.
And we haven't seen any of what we've seen for Con. We haven't seen any of the offloading side of things. No. That's like he's been playing it very smart. His first 2 internationals, no mistakes game. That's what Joe Schmidt, really wants. Yeah. And he can evolve the rest of his game because he can distribute. He threw 1 bad pass to Farrell's inside shoulder. So be it. You're going to have that every so often. But I was incredibly impressed with just how he went about his business, the work rate of him. And Farrell deserves that mention too. I think his work rate was exceptional. So obviously a couple of nice touches. Yeah. So a much better showing, much better opportunity for him in this game, playing with the first 15 really.